Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I'm a voice teacher and a vocal coach for Vocal Splendor Studios. Today I'm doing another reaction, and this is another reaction from my patron Amanda from Australia, and she has requested 21 Pilots Ride, the reconstructed version, live from Brooklyn. Let's have a listen. Interesting. This is like the DJ version. Actually, I grew up before DJs were a thing, but I'm always fascinated how they can do all these layers. And I know 21 Pilots is so talented, Tyler particularly. So this is a song I've heard before. I think when the album came out, I remember listening to it, but this will be interesting.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much, but it's fun to fantasize. All my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was, but it's fun to fantasize.
Very interesting. I think the original was so different. I'd have to go back and listen to it. But I do remember, I think it had some ukulele, and I remember the music video. And the thing about Tyler is he seems like he's kind of an introvert. Now, that might seem crazy because when you're a performer, you're definitely doing extroverted things. But to be honest, most performers are introverts. They're creating this inward experience and they're sharing with other people. And you can see right there, he's so focused, and he just has this really honest approach, really in the moment, behind his eyes, telling these stories. And I'm really fascinated to hear this version.
Whoa, 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 oh. I'm falling so, I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling so, I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 oh. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, bullet for you, bullet for everybody in this room. But it don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man. Literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight people back home are try talking to you, but then you ignored them still. All these questions, they're for real. Like, who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill?
Whoa, I am impressed with all the devices he has all around. That's super. I mean, he's singing, he's in the song. Of course, he's sung it probably for quite a time, but all the punching in and punching out, that would drive me crazy. And look at him. He's so focused. I love that looping. I remember another singer that I got to meet. He was on American Idol, and I can't remember the name. I never can remember names in the moment. It'll come to me. But Ryan Lewis, that's it. No, that's not Ryan Lewis. Anyway, he was a rapper and he did a lot of looping, and it's great to have those little programs where you can actually sing and then create harmony with it. And this is really cool. So different. I love that. I love it when artists take a song that they've already produced or recorded and then they just totally change it up. I love that.
Whoa, 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 oh. I'm falling so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride.
Wow. He can play piano too. He's super talented. I love how he just cut it off. The DJ things are gone and now it's just him stripped down.
I've been thinking too much. 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 Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much.
That was so interesting. He's such a creative guy, and he's so sincere. I mean, his music comes from this introverted place. You can see that, and it's just behind his eyes, and he's just can recreate so many different scenes. And the DJ stuff, pressing the right buttons, getting all this layers, it was really fascinating. That's something I haven't gotten into. And I don't think I will. It's a little bit too much for me. I'm happy making videos and doing things like that. And his music is so heartfelt. Now let's talk about his voice. He has a beautiful tenor and it's got a lot of warmth to it. And he has a great ear, and I love his piano playing, and he plays ukulele too. But also what is very exceptional for him is he has just a very easy falsetto. He just has easy control. Now, having taught so many men are really feel weird about the falsetto. Some of them aren't very comfortable with it. And the falsetto has been used for a lot of classical singers to help them get a little bit more ease in their upper notes. But having an easy falsetto is not easy. It's not. It sounds easy, but it takes a little work. And unfortunately, I don't really know about their early training with the whole band, but I'm sure they grew up in church, and because I know that they were Christians at first. I mean, they probably still are, but they, have kind of moved beyond that, but probably still have their Christian faith. And a lot of Christian bands are where people get their start. I've worked with so many students that start with worship bands, and that's their practice of kind of getting to performing. But I love their songwriting. It's always very thoughtful. And I also love, he kind of got into that kind of like almost reggae rap thing that is, another type of that rhythmic, lots of rhythm. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a little drums because he just has that rhythm. He may not play it publicly, but he has that rhythmic ability, and to just stay focused through all these different segments. And loved the mic that did some harmonies. And I've had a voice teacher that shared a mic years ago that had that kind of equipment very early on, and it was pretty fascinating. You don't need no backing singers. You can just like do layers like that and have loops and sing over it. And then with the piano, you have to be really focused on what you're doing. You got to practice all those steps. But he is just in his body, like I say, so I have this theory too of performers, and some performers are what I call hot performers, and some performers are what I call cool performers. He just definitely comes on the cool side, and what I mean by that, it's not like he's cold, but he's coming from that inward place. Everything is coming from an inward place, and even when I've seen his performances where he's jumping around the stage, he's still coming from that inward place. And then bringing people to you. So people that are the cool performers bring people to them because you're fascinated by what they're saying and you want to figure out what they're doing, and they're attracting. It's attracting energy. Where the hot performers, they're just throwing their energy out. They're just like all over the place. They're moving. They're really extroverted. They're just throwing it out there. And it's got this warm enveloping. I'm enveloping the audience. And that's a different vibe. It took me a long time to realize that I'm actually a cool performer. Even though I can be really extroverted, when I try to be outward like that, I lose my focus. And so that's something as a performer you kind of have to know or learn at the hard way like I did. So I see him as just very inward, very focused, and attracting people to him and his artistry. And he's a great musician, piano, singer, songwriter, great voice. I could hear all the words too. He can enunciate, because that's something I really like to hear, is making sure like huh? What are you saying? But when you hear the lyrics, because the lyrics are so important, and that rhythm in the middle, that kind of reggae rap section, super cool. Love it. And I know I've said this before, but I have a daughter who actually saw them before they were famous. She went to 2 concerts in Seattle in very small venues. So I'm kind of jealous when people have seen people before they got famous, because that's a great time to experience that. And then when they get stardom, you can say, I saw them when they were just getting started. So great band. And so thank you, Amanda, for suggesting this video. I really, really appreciate it. So if you Tyler fans and 21 Pilots fans, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell, because she's requested another 21 Pilots, and that will be I'll do that at the end of the month. So get ready for that. And also I want to let you know of my 2 free passion projects on Facebook. The first one I want to talk about is YouTube success strategies, because that is where I'm coaching people how to be successful on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years. I have other secondary channels that I'm testing. If you want to learn more about getting a great YouTube channel, you can find the information below in the description about that private group. And the other group is called Creative Soul Alignment, and that's for people that are interested in spirituality and creativity, which is, I think, 21 Pilots fits in that place as well, because here's the deal. When we are creating, we are expressing our spiritual nature. That's what we're here to do. We are always creating. We just don't know it. So whether you're creating music or art, but you're creating your life. And here's the other thing. We are here to create a world that works for all of us without creepy overlords telling us what to do. So as soon as we all get on that wavelength and visualize that, we are going to change this world, because that's what we're here for. All right. You can find all the information in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye.